A very good morning to you. My name is Daniel Wahom and welcome to Sports Check on this Monday morning. It is the 15th day of July 2024. Well, and remember that we are counting down to the Olympics. It's 11 days to Paris 2024. And also, if you are to count, we are then from the 28th of August plus another 15 or so days, we're looking at 43 days to the Paralympic Games Paris 2024. We'll be having a conversation about the Paralympic Games right here in studio. We've got some members of Team Kenya who are going to be representing us out there. So I'll be introducing them. Also, we'll be talking about woodball, a game that is basically a combination of croquet and golf. And Kenya, the African champions, the East African champions, and Woodball Kenya is going to be hosting the Kenya International Woodball Championship later in the year. And over the weekend, the people of Meru got a real taste of one-day action in motorsport. And we'll be speaking with the Meru Motorsports Club. And because of the way they organized the event, the turnout was brilliant. I think right now we can say truly that when you take the sport to people, it really does well. And in the news also, we are expecting a briefing from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations headquarters. This is at the Mazingira complex, where there is going to be a briefing, and this is all about what we have seen as the macabre scenes at Kware in Bukuru Kwa Jenga in Nairobi County, where bodies have been retrieved from that disused quarry that they had been dumped there, and they're being picked day by day. And also, the Kenya Association of Kenya Association of Kara, that's K-A-R-A, they will be having signing an MOU with Bingwa. So those are some of the stories that we are going to be taking a look at as we continue this conversation. Our sign language interpreter is Anne Wangeshi, and let's get going. Our hashtag is Sports Check KBC. So in studio, let me introduce to you Paralympic Team Kenya, and they are all preparing for the Paris Olympics. On my right is the treasurer, and she is also a power lifting coach, Lena Marita. Thank you. Karibu. Thank you very much. And on my left here, we've got Coach Philip Haimba. He's a taekwondo coach, and then we've got two taekwondo-in. I got the name right?
Taekwondo.
Yes?
Yes, yeah.
That is, yeah, we know judoka, karateka, the taekwondo-in. Yes, we've got Juliet Moipo.
Yes.
She's here, a para judoka, and they're going to be demonstrating to us later. You know, it's going to be dummy, no contact, nobody will get hurt here, but they will be taking us through this. And also, we've got Stacy Neema, who has also qualified for Paris 2024.
Yes.
Karibuni. And let me start with you, Treasurer, because from the executive, and I know it's now a crucial time, just the process of getting ready for the Paralympics and also making sure that all athletes are registered, including the good news that there were more slots for Kenya.
Yes. We thank our government, also our Paralympic team, because it has never been easy for our athletes.
Okay.
So far we have.
Okay, Treasurer, I'll be coming back to you so that we can have your microphone checked. So let me come to you. Let me start with you, Stacy. You'll travel and then you get to an event. No opponents. It's disappointing, but it also comes with the good news that you've qualified for the Paralympic Games. Just take us through that story.
Okay, the preparation was well. I prepared well for the qualifiers that was in Senegal. I was ready for my match. Unfortunately, there was no opponent under my category, under 52. Yes, I went through the weighing. They checked my weight, and it was well.
And that was the moment that you qualified?
Yes.
And also, let me come to you. The same case for you, Juliet.
Not the same case, but nilikuwa na opponent, but my opponent failed to come. So for me, then I go and wait. Then I qualify under 57.
Very well, and you can see that they're going to be ready and they're going to be working under coach. And it was, you know, a bittersweet when you traveled to Senegal. Just give us, the whole story around that.
Okay. Thank you, Benahome. Ours is normally quite interesting. It's a Kenyan scenario that affects all sporting organizations. In the beginning, we had quite a number of run-ins here and there, coming up with the players and their weights, getting classification to be on time, all that starting from last year. We were meant to go for the Africa Championship. We failed last minute. We were meant to go for the World Championship, which would have actually helped the two athletes, plus the others who didn't manage to participate, to at least get to be upgraded and at least to play one or two events. We failed. Then when it came to now the Olympics, the Olympic qualifiers in Senegal, we were supposed to travel on the Monday, I think, and here is on the Thursday. We are told there's no funding. So we had to run up and down. We had to see what we could do. KBC came on board. We talked to them. They talked to NOC, and there's some money that came in. And fortunately, I should say fortunately, we were able to take this two. For the able-body, we had two that were going. So we took a team of only 4 ladies and a coach and a team manager. So because we looked at the logistics that had been involved, we were told the funding that would be available will only be enough for 2 players. So we had to sit down and look at what was on board. And I'm not saying it is going to be guesswork. We had pre-thought of this starting from last Olympics, the Tokyo one. We had looked at the demographics, participation of other countries within Africa region, the weight categories that are normally presented. And as you know, our African ladies are not exactly tiny. Yes. So we actually made a conscious effort to look for people who would fit in particular categories, because those categories are, I would not say less challenging, but because for you to also be of a particular weight category, it's also a challenge on its own to maintain that category. So the other part of it is like we have less opponents in those categories. And this is now what we went out there specifically to get these 2 girls to play in that category.
Okay, so there it is. For you, Stacy,
Yes.
you are multi-talented when it comes to sports.
Yes.
You can play badminton very well. You've got the option for that. Why the choice of taekwondo?
According to the calendar, taekwondo's qualification was in Feb. Para-athletics was in this month. They went to Kobe. I was to be among the team. But after I've qualified for the taekwondo, I decided I was contented, yes. So I did not go for the other qualifications.
Okay. And what has been that journey? What has been your journey, given that you've opted not to go the athletics way, but concentrate now on taekwondo and the kind of work that you're doing to get ready for Paris?
Okay, the journey started for taekwondo. The journey started 2 years back in September 2022 when I joined taekwondo. It was the last game I joined. I first joined para badminton. I went for some championship and also para athletics. Then I met my friends. They took me to para taekwondo. I got interest. I started playing it. Then, according to the calendar, taekwondo's qualification came first. I prepared for it. I went and I qualified.
Juliet, let's come to you. Just take us through that journey, getting into the sports and eventually getting to a level where you can don that very wanted jacket, the Team Kenya jacket.
Okay, for me, I was introduced by one of my friend who was the former taekwondo. Then I joined taekwondo 2 years back. But for me, I just concentrate with one sport, only taekwondo. So I just focus with taekwondo. Then we go for qualification in Senegal, then I qualified.
After the qualification, what has been your story? Mambo yapi umekuwa ukijihusisha na ili kujitayarisha kwa michezo ya Paralympics?
Nilikuwa tu nisikose training, I just concentrate on my training and kuangalia tena story na food because it is just a category of kgs. Yeah.
Let's talk about diet and keeping your weight, because coach here mentioned that, you know, in this sport, I can think of boxing, I can even know. I know Treasurer here is going to come and also tell us about, you know, powerlifting, weightlifting. You've got to stay within a weight category. How do you ensure that you stay at under 57 all the time?
I used to take a balanced diet, mostly protein, because protein gives a person to have power in your legs. Yeah. So you have to just maintain a balanced diet.
Stacey, for you, knowing that also your division, I know the lower divisions for sports people, actually, there is a tendency that as you grow, you tend to gain weight and mass. So how do you, keep within your class?
With me, mine, I can't say it's so much stress on me. It's 52. Right now I'm 49, so it's still well with me. I just make sure the quality of food, the quantity of protein is well balanced with the energy giving. Then as I practice, I have my weighing machine. I always weigh to always make sure I'm within the kgs. For like now, we have few days to the tournament. So my
43 days to the games.
Yes.
43, right?
Yes. So by now, as I train, I concentrate on my diet and I weigh. In case of if I go down, I make sure I increase the volume of food to come back. Yeah, because there are some players, they cut weight to be there. So you find out that they are coming strong. Someone was from 57, she comes all the way to 52 or 53. So she's strong. For me to be at par with her, I also have to maintain and not go underweight. Yes.
So, Coach, let me come to this and what it essentially means for this sport about staying within your weight division, and in terms of speed and also the aspect of accuracy and the power that comes with it.
Okay, normally there's always a give and take when it comes to issue of the weight categories. You find that you can be on the higher side of the bracket. Like Stacey's actually, her bracket level is 52, upper level. If she goes too low, you find that there's some people, like for Juliet here, her upper bracket is 57.
Yes.
Their coach, maybe in another country, would have looked at a player like Juliet and told her, cut weight, go to category of under 52. You'll have the advantage of maybe being bigger. Basically, we are talking about the BMI. The taller you are, the more the advantages to you as a player. So most coaches work with the BMI of the player. So if the player could be taller, playing against a shorter opponent, the issue of reach is there. The issue of power comes into play. But the smaller player, on the other hand, has the issue of speed. So there is a balance that the coach has to strike. Would the issue of reach and power be able to overcome the issue of speed? If yes, then the coach would go for that. So it is a balancing fact that is, like for her now, her bigger category is actually the one that is in a problem, because people who are easily 63 kilos are the ones who cut weight and come to under 57, specifically for the event. Those are strong ladies. So if they kick her here and there, she would easily become disillusioned one way or another, because they're much stronger. Much as at that point in time, they're the same. But at least the system has been put in place nowadays is much better than during the days when we used to play. There is a main weighing in the day before the event, then the morning before the event, there's a random weighing in that we have to look into. So that random weighing in makes sure that the player, once he or she has weighed on day one, the next day the players still have to be within the category, because they don't know whether they'll be called for the random weighing, and if you're called for the random weighing and you're over or below, you're disqualified. So at least you play with somebody who's almost your weight category.
Aha. So Juliet, kujitayarisha pengine tuulize, unasikia kocha hapa akisema tu vizuri sana. Amesema vizuri sana. Kuna wale ambao wako 63 na wale ambao pengine wako under 52. Ukifanya mazoezi yako unafanya na wale wako kiwango gani cha uzani?
Mostly nafanya na able bodies. For me to have a speed na nikuwe na power, so I compete with them.
Hivi hebu tuambie kupambana nao, kwa sababu kuna tofauti moja tu kati ya taekwondo para na taekwondo ya able bodied, ya kwamba hakuna ngumi katika mchezo wenu na kupiga kichwa. Sasa tuambie mazoezi yako unavyofanya.
Tuko na electronic system tumeanza kuitumia, but hiyo kuna hogo protective enye tunaifa, so mtu wesi umia, but lazima ukue na nguvu, ndo ukikick ndo itasko. So lazima ukue na power kwa miguu, alafu ukue tena na speed.
Sawa. Na wale able bodied weight unatumia wale wako juu ama unafanya mazoezi na kina Stacy wale wako weight ingine kidogo?
Pia naisa fanya na Stacy because Stacy yako na speed, so ndio anipeleke mbio, pia mimi ni cash up, lazima ni train na yeye bado.
Very well. Sawa. Yes, Juliet Moipo, she is a para taekwondoin. She is one of the two who qualified for the Paris Olympics, for the Paralympics that are going to be taking place from the 28th of August to the 8th of September in France. And also in studio with us, let me introduce her again, Lena Marita. She's the treasurer of Paralympics Kenya, and she's also a powerlifting coach. So let me start with you, and you tell us basically first on the powerlifting side and the story of our Commonwealth Games bronze medalist Helen Wawira. Tueleze vile mambo yalivyo. Just tell us how.
Okay, thank you very much. As you have heard, my name is Lena Marita. I'm the treasurer and the coach to Kenya Power Lifting. So far, we have qualified one athlete by the name Helen Wawira, who's under category up to 41 kg. She managed to lift 98 kg. So she has already qualified. She was number 7 in her category. So she has been training well. She has been in the camp for 3 months.
Yes.
She's fit. Also, in powerlifting, is a game of weight. If you go beyond your body weight, for example, Helen, who's in 41, she should not go above 41. She remains 41 and below. So she has been maintaining that, and she is performing very well. Yes.
Yeah, 98 kilos, putting her 7th in her division globally, then making sure that she's got the power. How do you take her through the paces? Because as you train for all these events in powerlifting.
As we usually train for 3 days per week at Nya Stadium, the athlete is under nutritionist, psychology. So all the things she's being trained so that she can maintain her body weight, not to go above. Yes.
And what about ensuring that she has the right power so that we can see her go, even past 100 kgs in that power lift?
As I've said earlier, we have a nutritionist. So she's also in a diet, which makes him to retain his power, not to exceed and not to reduce. Yes.
Looking at her growth, because she's been to, this is now her, 2 Commonwealth Games, now one more time a Paralympian. What are the key improvements that you have seen with Helen over the past, say, 6-7 years?
Okay, since she started training, she's improving, because when she started 2015, it's her first event, which she went to Congo. She has been improving on the way, because we listened to you at Georgia's. She did her best. That's why now she has qualified. Yes.
Now let's move on to something else. Given that you are with the executive of Paralympics Kenya, the athletics team, the news that 3 extra slots were available and you did the trials. What was that big story for you? Such that legends like Mushaikur come in and be part of the team again.
Okay, because we are given 3 slots, and we have about 5 who scored high performance. So we decided to do trials for the athletics. The trial was done at Kapsabet, and we are waiting to do 2 more here at Nairobi. We have one for javelin and another one for high jump. So after that is when we will select we'll give the 3 slots to the one who have already reached the qualifying mark.
I know it's going to be a very tough decision, given that everyone wants to be in Paris representing the country. So how are you going to rank them such that everyone sees that there is the balance between the possibility for medals and also the opportunity for for every athlete to have a Paralympics chance?
In our sports, we usually have the qualifying mark. For example, if for 5,000, there's a time they are supposed to run. For the field, the same. So we will see. We'll use the timing. So we'll choose the 3 slots.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, the other sport that I want to talk about, Asia Mohammed, is Para-Roa. She has qualified for this. And just, Lena, you could take us through just an update on the preparations that she has been going through, including the fact that she got a standard boat eventually.
Yes.
A standard canoe that she can now use to train.
Okay. For Asia, she will be going to train at KSS at Eldoret. The preparation is going well on. She's going to be in the camp until the time of departure. So even we are trying our best so that our team can train well. Because we are having 3 different camps. We have for taekwondo here at Nairobi, and we have for athletics at Kapsabet, at Kipchoge, and we will have another one at Moranga for cyclists. So as the Paralympic, as KBC, we are trying to make sure our athletes and our coaches and our technicals, they are being followed up well, so that we can see our team to perform well in Paris.
Well, actually, let me talk about cycling here, because we've got Dedan Ireri. We saw his exploits. We had hosted him on Game On a couple of weekends ago. He came in. For Ireri, this is a breakthrough for paracycling. And just give us a whole setup of the camp that is going to be out in Moranga for him.
Because for cycling, we have 2 athletes. So they have been training at Moranga. That's where they do they are training well. They are also, as a KNPC, we are supporting them. Plus the government, they have already supported us. So we believe that they are going to perform well, because this is the first time we are having taekwondo in Paralympic and also cycling. We have been having athletics and powerlifting and swimming only. So this year we are lucky, we have 2 more events from taekwondo and cycling.
Para swimming, the big I know this is a big challenge because swimming has got a lot. I mean, has got very high standards for entry.
Yes, this time we did not manage to have swimming because they did not go for qualifying. Yes.
All right. Well, you've had it from Lena Marita. She's also going to be, telling us about the plans. We've been told about the 3 camps out in Eldoret, Murang'a, and Nairobi for all the athletes who are going to be there. Coach, for your taekwondo in that you have got here,
Yes.
just give us the whole idea about having to ensure that, number one, they've got the right power and the right speeds when they are whenever they're training. And then Juliet and Stacy, see mtatufanyia demonstration kidogo, because the fact that you don't score by a strike on the head, or I mean above the neck, and also the fact that you don't use your hands in any way. So let's speak with Coach about how he does this.
Okay, for this particular team, we have been training with them since beginning of the year. We were at South Sea. We trained for the qualifiers there. It was totally a Kenya Taekwondo Federation affair. And then when it came to the qualifiers is when we brought KNPC on board. And then from there, what now has happened is we have partnered with Parkland Sports Club. We have been training, and KNPC have been able to facilitate a strength and conditioning trainer, a nutritionalist, and a psychologist that has been working with the ladies to this date. So on our end, luckily Parklands has everything. They've got a Papo gym that is specifically tailored for Paralympic athletes. So they have their own trainers, and they have really been assisting us on that, and the other facilities that are there. So whether it comes to running or everything is there. It's kind of self-contained, and we've actually been lucky, I should say. We've been lucky. KNPC has come full board. The government has been there for us, and the players are there. Spirits are high. I have on board sparring partners, at least 1 or 2 Olympiads, former Olympiads that we have, who are sparring partners with them. And I've got some other senior coaches from the other clubs and other national team members. We have a big team that is actually helping them.
Okay.
Yes.
Sawa sawa. Gym work, the vile coach amesema. Let me start with you, Juliet, and then Stacy. How are you working out at that gym?
Kuna gym ya miguu. Ya crawl ndio miguu iko na speed. Na pia kuna ya sana tunafanya ya miguu kupanua hips ndio bones ya chana unakuwa flexible. Yeah.
Kwa hivyo ukituonyesha, so how do your movement inakuanga aje? Ya hiyo unaweza tumia tu mkono ama ni ile kuinua?
Kuna pia ya kuinua, unaekelewa gym hapa, then mtu unakaa, then unainua gym hivyo.
Aha. Wewe umekusaidia aje ndo tubatayarishe ndo mje mtufanyie demonstration hapa?
Actually, gym has helped me to get power in my legs and to work on the smaller muscles, so that at the moment I kick, the impact is there directly. You see, you can kick and it doesn't read. Yeah, so that is also another challenge because you're using energy and the time is limited. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. All right, so they'll be getting ready so that they can give us a demonstration here, the kicks and also how the scoring is done. Coach is going to be here to help us understand that, so that when you get to watch the para athletes as they do train, then you would fully understand how para taekwondo scoring happens. So, Treasurer, yes, let me come to this and just give us a whole idea about the arrangements that you have got for Team Kenya. Already we know the Olympics team, they've started visiting, they've started going to Miramas. We know already the sprinters are there, the swimmers are in Miramas. And what's going to be the plan for KNPC?
Thank you. For Paralympics, also we will go for 3 weeks in France.
Miramas.
Not in Miramas. There's a place called Campaign. That's where our athletes will go for training. So we are planning by 8th of August, our team will go to I don't know, it's a place called Campaign.
Yes.
That's
okay, it's a French place.
It's a French name, yeah. That's where they will go for their training to wait for the competition in France. We are prepared with what we have gotten. Still, we are requesting sponsors to come on board to assist us in terms of finance, materials, because we are able, we can do it. And we believe as Paralympic team, this time we are having a big team, which we have never been. By thanking the government, and also requesting sponsors kindly come on board to assist us. Thank you.
All right. So, and then for the, so that means all the teams will be out there training?
Yes.
So 3 weeks and then they get to the village?
Yes.
Well, so there you have it. And the two ladies now are ready to come in on the floor here. And they're going to give us a demonstration. And coach, as they do come in, something that the scoring methods for Taekwondo, just give us to them as they get right here, and they show us a demonstration as to how they compete. So, and you could describe it for us as they do it. So, first of all, they've got the hogo, that is
The chest protector.
the chest protector.
Yes.
And they also have a helmet. They also have headgear.
Yes, they have a helmet, and this time they've made it differently from the able body. There's a face plate now, transparent one. So even if it's an accidental hit to the face, because definitely being in their category, the use of limbs, the upper limbs, isn't there. So you find it is not dangerous.
So no full contact, so we can see the movement.
Yes.
So Stacy and Julie. Now, first the score, the different scoring.
Yes.
So to get a point.
To get a point, a player should be able to use enough power to cause, okay, in this case, you can see they're having their normal socks. There's an electronic socks that you put on that has sensors. And then the chest protector has sensors. So a score will actually be gotten when she's hitting. If it strikes and the score is above a power of 20, that straightforward score is 2 points. If she kicks that way, she gets 2 points. If the power and the targeting is above 20, when she turns like that, that's like a turning technique, she will score 3 points.
Okay.
Yes.
So a single, so straight with?
That is a direct score.
That's a direct score.
Direct score. It scores on its own. The judges, we call them referees nowadays, they don't need to score. It's been made to make the game more fairer. So it automatically scores. So this is bidii yako.
Bidii yako kweli. So, and looking, and so when you do the go round?
When you go round, you get a technical point. 1 more point is added. So, for para. For able body, it's 2 points technical point. So when you do this, you get 3 points when you turn round. But the technical point is only added after bidii yako have already gone in.
Well,
when you score is when you get the technical point.
Yes.
But if you don't score, even if you turn out, you don't get anything.
Now, supposing you've mentioned about the protective gear they have for the face. So if you do touch the face, what's the case in that case?
Touch the face, okay, there are 2 scenarios. The first one, let's assume it is an intentional, whatever it is. If the hit is intentional or non-intentional, so long as you've touched the face, that is a deduction you get. A gum jam, you deducted a full point. the point you're deducted would go eventually to the opponent.
To the opponent.
To the opponent, increasing the opponent's points. Your points are never technically deducted. Your points remain your points, what you've gained. But the opponent is added 1 more point.
And that is now the referee who's observing all of this.
The referee is observing. Me as the coach, I'm observing. So if I see an infringement of this kind, I have a card. If my player is having a blue protector or red protector, I raise my card and bring it to the notice of the coach that this has taken place.
Of the referee, right?
Of the referee, yes, the center referee, that this is what has happened. And then they take action by deducting that point from the person.
All right, the duration of each contest?
5 minutes, unfortunately. Everybody, they do 2 minutes with a break of 3 rounds. This one is 5 minutes, but each referee has a quarter of 1 minute break, depending with how he sees the game. If my player has the energies and has the zeal and is leading, I don't need to call for timeout. Timeout should be a very technical call for the coach. He should know when to call it. I should not call a timeout and give the opponent an advantage. Yes.
So, Stacy and Juliet, sasa mna manage aje energy yenu katika mchezo?
Like kama size na train, the coach knows lazima to work kwa.
Yeah, you can, stand and look towards the cameras. You can, or take your seats back. Sawa, ongea tu.
Lazima we have to work on endurance, because I know it may be a 5 minutes non-stop, depending with my scores. If I am kama niko mbele kwa opponent, the coach will not need to call for timeout, because it will be in the favor of the opponent. Atachukua hiyo time to breathe. So I have to prepare well, get enough endurance to be able to fight 5 minutes non-stop. Within those 5 minutes, I have to calculate, because it's more of the mind game and kusoma opponent yangu. Yeah, I have to know when to score and which kick to actually score with. Yeah.
Juliet, whenever you ukijitayarisha mashindano kama haya, how do you work with the coach so that you know the opponents that you are going to face when a draw is done?
Lazima nikuwe na gas. Lazima like nikimbie morning before nianze kutrain. Alafu pia nikiwa kwa ring nikiona nimeishiwa na gas, lazima nimshikilie mwenye tuna train na opponent. Kuna venye mtu unaenda unajisukumia kwake, at least unapata hiyo gas.
Kama vile tunaona boxing wakipigana wanaanza
hivi. Say hivi.
Then unaingia hivi.
So you maybe ana relax.
Nikirelax na mtupa then na mweka check. Then ana stop.
So that is allowed, but the referee,
it is allowed. So long as the holding is a 3-second thing. Then the referee, whatever time you hold, the referee is the one to come and say break. So once the referee says break, you go out. But there's nothing against holding. The referee is the one who's actually meant to say break. Then you break, and then again, you go, you come back. As you say, it's a technique that is used for easing the pressure.
Okay. Sawa. Stacy, Juliet, mnaweza chini as you know, tukienda kumaliza this segment so that we can touch on another sport. Your full expectations. I'll start with you, Stacy, the under 52. Your expectations out there.
Okay, being my first time, I am not afraid. I trust my coach. We are training well, and I expect a medal, and I know I'm going to get it. Yes, okay. I believe.
But tuambie furaha ya kukua kwamba sasa naenda michezo ya Olimpiki ya Paralympics Paris mwisho wa mwezi wa 8, na matumaini yako katika michezo hii.
For me nimefocus na najiamini. Yeah, fighting ni lazima ni fight. Lazima ni kuwa aggressive. I hope nitaleta medal.
Yes, and a medal from taekwondo is going to be a first for Paralympics Kenya.
Yes. It's the first time Paralympic Okay, this is the second time Paralympics has been, taekwondo has been in the Paralympics. This is the second time. Tokyo was the first time, this is the second time. Yes, and this is the first for us. And last time, I think we missed it just by a brush. Yeah. This time we're there, we want to make a mark, and we believe this is going to be a springboard for bigger, better things.
Well, you've had it from Coach Philip Kaimba, and finally, treasurer. Yes. And overall, what you have seen so far, and you could just give us an idea of about how many athletes in total. You're going to be taking, what, 7 athletes and their guides for the visually impaired. Overall number for Team Kenya that you're looking at?
For now, I cannot tell the overall number because we are still, because we did our trials for the 3 trials we were given. So maybe by the end of this week, we shall know the total number of the Paralympic team to Paris. Yes. And obviously, ile kitu wa Kenya wanauliza kwa mtandao, no joyriders, eh? Yes, there's no joyriders.
Yeah, definitely. That has been a very strong conversation. Actually, there were publications about what the people who are going to be traveling. And so I think there is one other thing, the medical side. How have you prepared on that? Because we've seen that there is somebody who's been dedicated as a medical officer for Team Kenya for the Olympics. From the Paralympic side, just give us about your medical preparations for that.
For Paralympic, we have a medical team. We have about 7 team. We have a doctor and we have a physiotherapist. So the team, every team has a physiotherapy, and we have a doctor who's going around for the checkup. So we are well prepared for medical. Yes. All
right. Thank you very much. And that is the treasurer of Paralympics Kenya, the Kenya National Paralympics Committee, Lena Marita, and she's preparing for the Paralympic Games from the 28th of August to the 8th of September. And also now, making sure, let me come to you, Coach, because this is very crucial for you. Because we know we've got the time. How well would you like to see the para taekwondo grow?
Okay, para taekwondo, I would say it's actually a relatively new sport in Kenya. We started way back in 2015. We've had our ups and downs, and a lot of things have been done very locally. Our first international assignment was 2017, Africa Championship. We took a relatively very young team. In fact, of the young boys and girls that we had, I think only 3 are currently still with the team. And then going forward, we have had quite a number coming in, and we have been fortunate that our team has been drawn from students from college level, at least college level. This has been a very big boost for us because it ensures that at least the rest of the people who are back at the college who have disabilities that are similar to these ones are easily drawn into. And we're having, actually the bulk of the team is made up of young men and women from the universities, I should say that, at college level.
Okay. Sasa na ningetaka kuongea na Stacy, how would you encourage people to take up taekwondo? There is the competitive side where you are in, but there is also for fitness, and the other one, self-defense. Si kwenda ile kutishia watu maisha kwenda.
Okay, taekwondo is like any other sport, as I said earlier. All those who are interested can join. The clubs are all over. There is clubs in Mombasa, there are clubs in Nairobi. It's friendly game. You learn so much. Body fitness, defensive ways, apart from competition. So don't be afraid. It's a good sport. And come all and enjoy.
Wasihi wenzako ambao wangetaka kuingia mchezo huu, ni nini ungetaka wajue ndio waingie kwenye mchezo?
like wakue aggressive kujua more about the game because it is not everyone is ako enjoyable na hiyo game because inaogofya. Wengine wanaona kama mtu anaweza enda huko ucheze alafu unaweza pigwa umie vibaya. So watu wasiumie, wako freely kujoin.
Lakini sasa wewe uko kwenye huu mchezo na hauogopi. Nikusema tayari hauogopi.
Yeah, kwa sasa hivi siogopi, but kitambo nilikuwa naiogopa. Inafanya mtu akue na hiyo kutoka na fear. Asikuwa kuogopa, like unaweza defense. It is enjoyable.
Sawa sawa. Umesikia? Kwa hivyo usiogope. Kama watu wanapigana masumbwi, boxing, then there's nothing to be afraid about. Anyway, yes, talking about the Olympics, Maria Brunlein is a swimmer. So there is an Olympics watch property that we have that we're going to be playing before we get into the next conversation, which is all about, woodball. Kenya is going to be hosting an international championship in September. So you've had all the laughs here, and we wish you all the best. Stacy, under 50s, 2-kilogram taekwondo in. Juliet is here. She's in the under 57 division. Their coach Philip Kaemba and treasurer Lena Marita. Let's get the story of Maria Brunlein as she prepares for the Olympic Games. She's going to be one of the 2 swimmers who have been entered in Team Kenya through the universality mode.